Hello, and welcome to Humor is Cheaper Than Therapy podcast. I'm Kelly, and soon I'll be joined by my sisters, Shelly and Margot, and our mom. And we're going to sit here and have some casual conversations, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. There'll be some humor, there'll be some seriousness. But remember, we are not doctors, we are not therapists, and we are in no way professionals. We're just here enjoying the time we have with each other. Thank you.
This is Terry in Montana, and they'll be calling me Mom on this podcast.
And this is Kelly in Minnesota, and I'm the eldest daughter of Terry.
This is Shelly, also in Minnesota, middle daughter. We're going to talk about that later.
And this is Margot, the redheaded stepchild.
Couldn't be more true.
Not a stepchild. I'm a stepchild. You're not.
Well, that's true. She is not a stepchild.
No, neither is Shelly. You are a stepchild, Kelly.
I'm the only stepchild.
I was adopted.
Right? Okay.
Get
so
the
we
genealogy
determined
right.
Margot is the redheaded stepsister of mine. I'm the only stepchild, and Shelly is my sister. Okay. Hey, sissies.
But I'm also the adopted middle child, so.
That's a double whammy.
We're really going to confuse.
Or is it?
We're going to confuse people with all that explanation. You realize that. They're going to go, huh?
We can clear it up on another episode.
Who are these people?
Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll explain Shelly's role in the family.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Or will we? Okay, this episode is dedicated to pet peeves and particularities. And let me just explain. We would call those OCDs normally, but because we have somebody in our family that actually really has OCD and it's not fun, my OCD habits are definitely not ranked that way. So it's just things I'm particular about. So we're going to talk about that today.
And according to Google, a pet peeve is a pet aversion or a pet hate and is a minor annoyance that an individual identifies as particularly irritating to them to a greater degree than would be expected based on the experiences of others.
Thank you, Google Master.
You're welcome.
Which explains why when my sink is full of dishes and there's junk on the bottom of the sink and dishes are piled next to the sink, which annoys the heck out of me, my husband isn't concerned about it because it doesn't bother him, right?
There you go.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have that pet hate.
No.
Isn't that funny after all the years you've been together that he wouldn't have the same one?
It is, isn't it?
We catch other things from each other. We don't get pet peeves, I guess.
Sometimes we do.
I was going to say, I think sometimes we do.
Yeah, because our spouse talks about things that bug them, over and over again. And then it starts to bug, me as well or something like that. Totally happens. But I don't know why Dave didn't catch that one or why he didn't catch on that that's yours and not do it.
Could be maybe a little passive aggressiveness. I don't know. Something to think
or
of.
Just, I don't want to do the dishes, so I'm going to just put them here. It's probably just simple.
And like I said, it was most noticeable in the last 2 weeks, having both of us been sick, home from work sick on different days. And I probably was not in the happiest place when it hit me that day. I didn't get angry. It was just...
Yeah, no, of course. But I would say that because you guys are both sick,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All bets are off and everybody should get a pass.
I agree. Which I didn't. I did not get angry and I didn't do anything but just came home and did the dishes.
Right. And it just bugged you because you had to come home and do the dishes.
Right.
That bugs everybody, I think.
Yeah, I suppose. But if he had been well on his Tuesday morning when he doesn't go until noon, he would have done them knowing I had been sick over the weekend. But I just hope we get
all right. So that's
past this crap.
How many years you been married?
No, I mean the sickness.
Oh, you're talking about the sickness.
Yes.
Gotcha. Whoops.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not kicking him to the curb. I'm not going to kick him to the curb yet.
No. Oh my goodness. All right, Mom. That was one of Kelly's pet peeves. Mom, what's one of yours?
There are many.
Pick one.
Did you see Shelley's list? Come on.
That was Margot.
Oh, was it Margot? Okay.
That was Margot's list. I do not have that many.
The way the dishwasher gets loaded is a pet peeve of mine.
Oh, amen, sister.
What?
Hey,
You don't
mother.
use your dishwasher. You stuff it full
I
of
started
storage.
using it.
She did, Margot, because
I
her
started
sink leaks.
using it.
Oh.
No, it doesn't leak. It. The faucet
Well, the
drips.
faucet doesn't turn off. That's it. That's
But
why
that's
I'm
not
afraid.
why I started using it.
That's why I don't like to
Go on.
fill someone's dishwasher at their house because I don't have one. So I'm like, am I doing it right? Because I get it. I would be annoyed if it was not done correctly.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, Mom.
You're not doing it right.
Well, just if you load the dishwasher, just start the dishwasher and get it
Yes.
done.
Oh,
Because if I have to go back in and load stuff, I want to organize the dang thing. And that's
Right.
stupid. That's stupid. But I have a friend who loads the dishwasher in a way you guys would never believe. Her forks all go in a specific direction. One points one way, the other one points the other way. Margot wants to speak.
you know why?
Oh, that's Margot.
You know why she does that?
No.
Do you know why she does that?
She does a lot of things that are odd. Her name is Deb. And
It's
we gotta cut
Deb,
that out.
it's so they don't nest, and because if they nest, they won't get clean.
Oh,
You know, if they spoon like.
Yeah.
sure.
Because spooning
you
leads to forking.
It sure does.
Oh. And now we will do the adult disclaimer
Okay.
here on this podcast.
Well, all we're talking about is forks and spoons. I don't know what
Yes.
you're talking about.
Because in my dishwasher, all of my forks go in their own basket.
yes.
All my spoons go in their own basket, and all the knives go in their own basket. So when you take the little silverware container out of your dishwasher and take it over to your silverware drawer, you can just grab all your forks at once.
Yes.
And
But
Quicker.
true. But if, for instance, your spoons ended up spooning while they were getting washed, there's a big chance they're not clean.
That is true. That's why my dishwasher has a little lid on it. So each spot is for its own utensil.
Oh my.
Wow.
Do you
Oh,
put your
she's got a
spoons
fancy one.
up or down?
Up.
Always up.
Up. Forks, spoons, knives, everything up because it's going to get cleaner. Hey, we all agree.
Well,
you
I
go.
know with my dishwasher, spooning does lead to forking.
What about knifing?
Whoa.
Hopefully there's none of that because that could be dangerous.
Yeah,
That's another topic.
totally. Whole nother day.
And and I can't be involved because you guys and your murder stuff.
Say, speaking of
Anyway,
Margot, have you heard True Crime Brewery?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll stop there because that's not to this podcast, but I've been meaning to ask you that.
but it's okay to give another podcast that y'all like a shout out. So True
Well, they're
Crime
fun. They're
Brewery,
husband
which I'm
and
never
wife.
gonna listen to.
They're husband and wife, and I think they do
Okay.
it well. Mm-hmm.
What? Do what well?
Talk about murder.
podcast. Mother.
Ah.
See where we
I
all
think
got it.
So,
Well, my biggest pet peeve on the list of my pet peeves is whistling. I cannot stand it.
What?
I want to punch people when I hear it. It makes my skin crawl and I get weird goosebumps
That's
and-
weird.
and I literally just want to throat punch everyone who whistles.
any whistling?
Okay, that's
And I have broken all of the men in my life. They're whistlers because I have punched them.
that's sad.
Ate it. Ate
That's
whistling.
and weird.
No
I'd
whistling.
like to
It's
get
such
to
a
the
happy sound.
No, it's not. No.
It is. It's like people do it when they're happy, you know? I want to do it right now, but I don't want to get throat punched
I'd like to get to the bottom
from
of that
Montana.
one.
It's just not. No.
You know, there probably isn't a bottom. It's probably just one of those things.
Well, and here's the thing
That
for
just-
me.
Ugh.
Whistling, a tune doesn't get me, and none of it bothers me. But I think of how Grandpa used to laugh, and there was kind of a whistle in his laugh.
Oh, I loved Grandpa's
Yes.
laugh. Yeah, he
So-
did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
Well, I was too little and don't remember it, so
I know.
I have no happy whistling memories.
That would have changed your life.
Yes,
But
it
there's a
would've.
difference between whistling and whistling a tune.
No, there isn't.
I whistle for my dogs,
I used to whistle
and
for
then
my
I'm not
children.
whistling a tune.
I whistled at my husband today. Well, he was, get this, not that kind. I did the really loud one. He was vacuuming because he loves me. And somebody was at the door. And so I had to whistle to get him to stop vacuuming so I could talk to the person at the door who was at the wrong address, which happens probably once a month.
I don't understand
Well,
why when
let
there's
me-
3 doorways in that little cove there.
It's not even that, Cal. It's not that. They're at some other on some different street.
Got
We
it.
get mail,
Oh, you probably don't want to say
and that's
that
not our
stuff.
address. Well, they don't know what city I'm in, so we should be good.
That's true. Okay.
Anyway,
We're going to end up on the Burger Podcast one way or another.
great. I'll be cutting that out.
I have a whistle story.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Let's bug Margot.
When we were kids, we could run around the neighborhood. Kids can't do that anymore. And I mean, we could run around blocks and blocks of neighborhood,
Yes.
2 blocks away to the park, 3 blocks away to the park. My mother got a whistle, one of those shrill whistles like they use at games, like basketball whistle.
Yep.
And that's 3 whistles meant come home. And we could hear her.
Yep.
I love it. Well,
When-
that's how Kelly and I used to use it.
Yes.
Only not one of those. We used our fingers.
Right. When the kids were out playing in the woods and doing kid things and it was time to get to the house, because I have 15 acres of woods. They're not going to hear me holler, but they sure heard me whistle.
Nope, no whistling.
I know how to get you now.
Ooh.
You better be out of arm's reach.
You don't scare me, little sister.
It's just like an automatic reflex. Just bam.
Okay, so
Okay,
we've
Shelley,
heard.
you haven't said a pet peeve.
Well, the first one that came to mind was when people say, no worries. It pisses me off. I don't know why, but enough to swear. Probably like whistling does to you, Margot. I just don't like it. And it's just this trendy little term. And it's bugged me since the first time I heard it. Gosh, when I worked at my other job, probably 9 years ago, the first time somebody said, I said, oh, I'm sorry for whatever. Oh, no worries. I just went, oh, what is that? I hate it. And people use it all the time. I'm not worried. What happened to no problem? It's okay. I don't know. It just bugs me. Don't know. And a lot of
That's an
people use it, so-
Australian thing, isn't it? Don't they say that in Australia? No worries.
I'm not
No
sure.
worries, mate.
Are you thinking, you're not thinking that song, Don't Worry, Be Happy?
No.
I don't know,
Well,
Mom.
and that
I've never
brings me
heard
to
that.
something
and
that, my friends from England,
ahead,
and
Kelly.
I've noticed they do this, and my son does it all the time. The yeah, when you're talking and explaining, and I know in my head
Oh,
that they're understanding, and that's what they're trying to
they're
But to
confirming.
me, it's like cutting me off, so that I get it. Shell.
Dismissive. It's dismissive.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Just
another
like
one
no
I don't
worries
like.
is.
I hear it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. One of them that really bothers me, and everyone in America does it. Yeah, no. What is
Say that again, Mom.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
no.
I be
Well, we have
missing
to
the
say it. We're
context.
from Minnesota.
Because yeah means yes, right?
So use it in a sentence.
Okay.
Or yeah. Well, because
Yeah, no.
you're not like
No.
like that.
No. No. Like, are you going to go over to the courthouse tomorrow for the hearing? Yeah, no.
Oh, you mean or no? Are you going
Yeah.
with or no?
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
So-
and people say that
'cause-
all the time. It's like, what?
Because yeah, and I do. Like, hey, are you gonna run up to the store or no?
No, she means
Yeah.
in an answer to that question, Shell. So she says to somebody, are you going to go up to the courthouse for that hearing tomorrow? And they go, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah,
Or
got it.
do you like chocolate chip cookies? Yeah, no.
No. You wouldn't say it if the answer was yes, right? It's only if
Right.
the answer is no.
Right.
Yeah, no. Oh, I get it. Took
Mhm.
me a minute.
A little slow on the uptake there.
Yeah. Well, what did you always tell me, Mom, growing up? What did you always tell me?
I never said anything bad. I always lifted you up and encouraged you.
All
I
right,
know
I'm going to clarify
exactly what
that.
she's
She
referring
said, Shelley
to.
Lynn, if you went any slower, you'd be going backwards.
Yep.
And then to this day, I just clarify, listen, I have 2 speeds, slow and stop. That is it. If you don't like it, get out.
Well, do you know what I say now to people? If you were any slower,
No.
you'd be as slow as Shelley.
I I prefer to call it chill. Where's the fire, people? Where's the fire? Just relax, chill. There's no hurry. And did I not find the perfect husband?
You did.
He's
I was thinking
more chill
that.
than I am.
Yep. Yep.
Heck, I'm even like, dude, let's go. And he's like, where's the fire? He says that to me. That's hilarious.
It's fabulous.
And the expression no worries did originate in Australia. So put
that-
1 in Mom's column for being right.
And that breaks my heart because I relate to them as my people.
Who are Australians?
I know you're all, yep. It's weird. And the reason is, Kelly, you might remember this, but every once in a while when I say something, it comes out Australian. Ask my husband. We almost fell to the floor one day because he asked me a question. I answered and it came out completely Australian. I don't know what happened. So ever since then, and it's happened maybe 3 times, I'm like, I think they're my people. So I'm sad.
Realize
They shouldn't have come
Australia
up with
started
that
as a
term.
Shelley, you realize Australia
I
started as
do.
a penal colony? Okay.
I do. Yep. I did know
He said
that.
penal.
Oh, my Lanta. Oofta. All right. Let's see. Let's do one more round, or we can go to particularities. That might be a little funner.
Okay.
Oh. So
Something
something
that
that we are
bugs you?
particular, we want it to be a certain way.
Like, yes, that you would consider, oh, that's just one of my OCD things, but we're not using that term so loosely anymore. Mom, you get to go first if you can think of one.
I like everything even. I don't like odd numbers. Yuck. And I like things lined up.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any examples in your life?
Well, we were just redoing the guest room, and Dad was putting a rug in, and that's just one of them. He put some other rugs in too, and he was very, very careful about lining them up because he knows that I can see that.
So lined up with the wood grain.
It's going to be lined up with something, the wall or the wood grain. If I can't do the wood grain, the wall. Yeah. It's got to be straight.
Got it. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I'm pretty obsessive.
I can relate to it, actually. There's so many crooked things in my house. And we know I have a chaotic house. I have a chaotic space. I have murals painted on the wall. Nothing about that is in line and straight. But if you walk down my hall and you look at my tiger mirror, it is crooked. And I swear to you, every day it looks more crooked. So either my house is falling in or I notice it more. And it drives me crazy. And I can't get it fixed. So I have to quit looking at it.
Do you straighten it or do you try to straighten it?
You can't. It's anchored the way it was. Had to be,
okay.
And you would have to take all of them out and try to just shift it like a quarter of an inch.
See, if your dad hung something crooked and I said, just it's fine, just leave it. He would ask me several times if it was straight and okay with me. And if he did give up and it wasn't straight, I would get somebody in to fix it and not
Dave
tell him.
doesn't
So-
even notice it. I do.
No.
And I've
he's a man.
decided to live with it.
That's really awesome.
But I get
Mom,
exactly
I have a
what
question
Mom's-
for you. How about that light fixture in your dining room?
Well, it's not crooked. It's just not in the center of where it
It's
belongs.
off center.
Yeah.
I think that one bothers me more than it bothers you. And I keep telling him every time I come out there, I'm like, Dad, you got to move that light.
Keep telling him.
I will. All right, Margot, do you have an OCD particularity?
Did you
Your
see
list
her
is long.
list?
Well, that's pet peeves. That's things that other people do that make me angry.
You
I
can
don't
do one of those if you want.
I don't know if I'm really particular about anything. It's a good thing my husband's not here because I'm sure he could probably have 100 incidences for you.
I'll bet.
of
She
what.
doesn't like that he collects things because the kids might want them someday.
Well, that's a pet peeve.
Is it?
Yeah.
But a
And it's
particularity,
not that
you
I
need
don't
to have.
like it. I
Oh, I know
understand where he's
something that-
coming from.
Something that you won't do or
that you need to have done
You
a
have to
certain
do.
way.
like the silverware.
She just found a quick fix. She's got a little thingy on her thingy.
FYI, she does the dishes whenever we have a family gathering, and she does not load my dishwasher like that.
No, because it's not mine.
Ah.
Mm.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I like to be the one who is in control and in charge and getting things done. So I guess that would probably be something that would be I don't know. Particular thing about me is when
Mhm.
when there is something going on, I want to be in charge so that it is
Organized.
done right, organized, and completed at the end of the task. Yes.
You know, that's cool. And we could work really well together because I'm the one that wants to be told what to do. Like, you organize it and you have the plan and just tell me what to do and where to go. And I'm your girl.
Yeah.
So,
And
there you
I
go.
like to tell people where to go.
Hey, see?
See, look at
Isn't
you
that funny that
guys.
she's like that?
Oh goodness.
Okay, well, I have I have a lot of little particularities that drive me banana sandwich, but the first one is writing in black ink pen. Can't do it, won't do it. Don't know why. I can use a black marker. I will not use a black ink pen if I don't have to. But the reason it's not an OCD is because if it's the only pen there and somebody at the front desk of wherever is saying, you have to sign this, and that's the only option, I can sign it and it's not going to ruin my day. But I will do anything I can not to write in black ink.
Do you close your eyes then when you do it, or what do you do?
No, I just do it. I just put my big girl panties on and do it. But I hate every minute of it.
Do you have a passport?
I don't.
I think you have to fill those out in black ink.
Probably. Yeah, and there are some things, and I could if I had to. That's why it's not officially an OCD thing, because it's not going to ruin my life. But if I don't have to, I won't, and I will do everything I can not to. In fact, I just had to sign something. I think I was getting a prescription for glasses or something, and they had nothing but black ink, and I dug through my purse until I found a purple marker, and I said, can I sign this in a purple marker? And they said, okay.
I've been with you at a store where I don't remember where we were, but we were together, and I saw you get your pen out and say, oh, that's black. I got to get my pen out. And you did.
She always
Like a
has her
receipt or
own pen.
something.
Mm-hmm.
And I only keep one black ink pen in the house. I mean, there might be more, but if I find it, I'll throw it away. I just keep one just for that off chance that there's something that has to be signed in black. So anyway, that's just me. And I don't have any clue why. Hashtag weirdo.
I can think of weirder things, Shell.
Such as?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's not the weirdest thing I know in life.
No. I have two more I'll say really fast. I won't drink out of plastic. And when you take like the what is it, like a peanut butter jar where you have to take that
The foil off.
layer off that's stuck to the rim,
Mhm,
the foil.
mhm.
If I don't get every bit of that off, I will lose my mind, and I will take a knife to scrape it off if I have to.
Yep. And
Pill bottles, whatever it's on.
I'm the same way. You and I have had this discussion, as have our daughters with each other, and think it's funny. So my husband makes coffee every morning. The only time, on a rare occasion, I make coffee is when I get up before him and he doesn't get it all off. And I have started now where I just do the 2 scoops, put the lid back on and leave it, because I'm not going to sit there and fight it for the one time. So it's not an OCD thing then, right? It's just an annoying thing. Mm-hmm.
Right. It's a particularity.
Mm-hmm. But, for crying out loud, why can't people pull everything off?
He should know by now.
Well,
Anything else that comes to mind?
When
Go
I
ahead,
think
Mom.
about that, when the older you get, the harder it is to open things. It's like they're childproof stuff. I just have gotten to the point where I just stick something sharp in the middle and let it go, because I can't pull that crap off there.
You need an assistant.
Okay. He's happy with just poking a hole in there. That's all. He doesn't care.
Oh, match made in heaven. So it's not one of your things then.
No. And Kelly, have you done a particularity yet? So I'm going to ask a question. Do you think men have as many as women do?
Yes.
I would say
do.
no, not my man. Well, there are things, but not as many.
Maybe not as particular. Yeah, probably not as many preferences, but yeah, not particularities. I would have to say I'm going to change my answer.
You're allowed. And they're not as maybe vocal about it, because I think we were married for, I don't know, 15 years before I knew that he hated all the furniture wall to wall, and he likes wide open spaces and more minimalist tendencies. I had no idea. And when we bought that house in that other town we used to live in, I don't know, I just did what everybody else does, and I filled it all up. Drove him crazy, but he didn't say anything. Now I know.
So what brought it up?
I think when we were purging to move,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know, just one time he said, when you're shopping or wherever,
Mm-hmm.
and you see something, or you see something in the magazine, and he just said, boy, I really like that wide open space and not too much on the walls. And it just sparked a conversation.
Okay.
And then I said, oh my gosh, why didn't you ever say anything? And he's like, because you liked it. So I think there's just a difference.
Okay.
I don't think Kelly said a particularity.
Did you have a particularity, Kelly? Mom thinks you didn't share one, and maybe you didn't.
Maybe I didn't.
Cirrus has one.
Yeah, the deer are on the hill, I'm sure. She's telling him to get off my lawn.
Well, she kind of was feeding off of moms, with things being crooked.
I'm sure you all know one about me.
And you also relate. Well, you relate to the foil on the peanut butter jar type situation.
Oh yes, yeah.
But there are things, Cal, and they're not coming to mind right now.
I know there are things.
So they're just things they're things that drive you crazy. Is that what you're saying? It makes me crazy when you do that or something.
Right.
No. What I'm saying is there are things I have to do a particular way. When I open a jar of peanut butter, I have to take the foil off. Yes, Shelley?
I want to say you're always counting.
Yes.
You're always counting.
I'm always tapping, and there's always music
no
going
matter
through
what
my head.
You're always tapping.
Mm-hmm.
You might be a little nutty. I don't know.
Could be. Still rock myself to sleep. I think about it when I'm falling asleep at night and I find myself rocking. I'm like, oh yeah, Shelley hates that.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Absolutely not. Because you've done it since we shared a bed when we were kids.
Yeah. Since I can remember anyway.
Yeah. And you're going to think of a million things that bug as soon as we hang up this podcast.
Right? Oh, goodness.
Mom was going to say something.
Go ahead, Mom.
I don't know what I wasn't going to say something. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you were going to say something. You were going to say something before you said, well, I don't think Kelly said a particularity yet. You had something to share.
Oh, I was just thinking about men and their particularities, if they had as many.
Can you think of any?
I just don't think my husband does. I could I could throw all of his socks in the drawer unfolded. It wouldn't bother him a bit.
Oh, it would bother me though.
Those kinds of things just don't bother him. Dog
Right.
toys laying around and stuff. And I'm always constantly picking up. But he used to fold his socks to put them in the laundry. And
Oh,
and so he could, and I'm like, you realize I have to pull him apart every time? Stop it. That was probably after we'd been married 40 years. Just don't do that anymore. I don't
That's
touch your
cute.
stinky socks.
and they do have stinky socks, don't they?
They do. I don't
Sometimes.
even turn them. If they're inside out, they get washed inside out. I'm not sticking my hand in there.
No, a sock doesn't matter. But Mom, to your point, I don't think they have as many, but I do think that what are yours become theirs. I think they're just such creatures of wanting to serve their woman, at least from what I see, that I don't know. They just maybe care more about yours. Like he's super particular about making sure the carpet is straight for you. So you're not going to go crazy, you know? I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just
he
me.
does notice those things.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm going to have to say I think they've all seen us at some point or another go batshit crazy and probably don't want that to be replicated.
yeah. Yep.
Yup.
For
My husband would
sure.
never put his socks in the laundry inside out. Ever. Never.
Ooh,
once.
I
Well,
love
he's
that.
military.
Ooh, good
Very
point.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, my husband would sit here and listen to this dog bark all night long and not bother him, and it's driving me nuts. Just like when
Is
she
it driving you
whines
nuts
and
because you want to know what's going on, or you want her to stop?
I want her to shut up, but I don't want to bring her in because I'm busy.
She's
It's
she's
just
doing
like
her
when she
job, right?
whines. Okay.
She's working. Yeah.
She's warning you, Mom. There's deer
Telling
up on the hill.
everybody
What
get
the
out
heck?
of her yard. Yeah, it's deer because if it was coyote, it would be a different bark. I do know the difference.
Would she
did find
chase
one
the
of them the
coyote?
other day. Yes.
Does she chase him?
Yes. Yeah, Dave shot at one in our backyard that she was chasing last year. And she thinks she's 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Where are your two dogs?
They went with Dad.
Oh,
He's at Auntie's house doing her taxes.
Ew, I got to do that,
Oh,
don't
super
I?
fun. I just
Yeah.
had those done. I don't do those myself.
We don't do ours. We can't. Oh, Lord. Yeah. But Auntie's is pretty simple. He's done hers for years.
Mine are simple, simpler than Auntie's. I own nothing, but I still pay for somebody to be the one to say, "Yep, I did that" when I get audited.
Yep. Good old TurboTax. Steve does TurboTax.
That's what I do.
Okay. A lot of people love that. Sharia actually does that, and she does other people's taxes. So does Josh, I guess. What the heck?
He was helping Jake the other day, I think, or going to.
Yeah, it sounds like he loves it. I don't know.
We have 2 police cars just coming by our house.
Really? What's going on, Mom?
I don't know. Margot's got an ending to our podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
Take it away, Margot.
okay. So I have a little bit of historical tidbit. I listen, as a lot of you know, to a lot of other podcasts. So I've heard this story a couple different times, but I basically went to Wikipedia and found out all my information. So there was this guy named Elmer McCurdy who was born January 1st, 1880, and he died October 7th, 1911. And he wasn't buried until 1977.
Whoa.
Yeah, right? So almost 100 years from when he was born to when he was buried.
Okay.
So, all right. So Mr. Elmer was born to an unmarried 17-year-old named Sadie. And in order to save face, Sadie's brother George and his wife Helen adopted him and raised him as their own son. But after his dad George died of tuberculosis, his real mom Sadie said, "Hey, Elmer, I'm your mother," which totally messed him up.
Oh.
And he started drinking heavy and grew resentful and unruly and rebellious. And so they shipped him off to his granddad, who then started him to being an apprentice plumber. And things then went sour because in 1900, His real mom died of a ruptured ulcer, which I think is probably pretty messy. And his dad died of his granddad died of Bright's disease.
Bright's disease.
Bright's, as in the bright lights. Bright's disease. Which, for those of you that don't know, does anyone here know? No.
I don't know.
It is a historical classification of kidney disease that would be described in modern medicine as acute or chronic inflammation of the kidneys, characterized by the swelling of the kidneys and the presence of blood in the urine.
Oh.
Yeah, and was frequently accompanied by high blood pressure and heart disease. So that doesn't sound like fun at all.
Not at all.
So in 1907, he joined the Army and was a machine gun operator and trained to use nitroglycerin. But they didn't train him very well.
Oh, boy.
He was discharged from the Army honorably. And then he kind of just wandered all over the Midwest, drinking, burglarizing, and often using the explosives in his capers. And he was often very overzealous with the amount of explosives he used. And he would usually blow up more of the treasure than he actually took.
Oh, my goodness.
And in October 1911, Elmer robbed a train, thinking that it contained the $400,000 payroll for this company. But no, Elmer hijacked the wrong train and ended up getting $46.
Oh.
But in today, if you converted the money, it would be $1,249.12. Okay. And 2 demijohns of whiskey. What's a demijohn? Let me tell you.
I was going to ask.
It's typically a glass jar enclosed with wickerwork. So I'm going to send you a picture of what that might look like so you can get an idea of that. There you go. Sent.
Did you say Dummy John? Oh, we've had those in our house before.
Yep. Demijohn. So
Got it.
he stole 2 of those of whiskey, which was about 32 gallons of whiskey.
Oh no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he was pretty bummed because he only ended up with $46. So he took to drinking all that whiskey in a hay shed out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what you're doing, Mom, but how about if you know it? So he's drinking whiskey in a hay shed, and 3 days later, a posse found him and killed him with a single gunshot. Okay? So now he's dead. This is October 7th, 1911. He died.
Okay.
Okay? Now, here is where his entertaining career takes off. Okay? The local undertaker embalmed him, but because there was no one to take the body and pay for the services that the embalmer did to preserve his body and get it ready for burial, he decided to shave his face, dress him up in a nice suit, and put him on display for 5 cents a person. So you could, for a nickel, go to the mortuary and see Mr. Elmer just laid out in his Sunday best. Okay?
Good gravy.
So he was there for about 5 years. And then Avier and Wayne showed up and said, "We are Elmer's long-lost brothers. We're taking him." So they took him. But they weren't his long-lost brothers. They were James and Charles Patterson, traveling carnival owners.
Oh.
Who then took Mr. Elmer and traveled the carnival circuit until 1922, where he was sold. Yeah. And so this new dude, Lewis, he had a traveling crime museum. So what he had wax figurines made up to look like different gangsters of the area, like Jesse James and the Younger Brothers. Okay? Well, he just threw Mr. Elmer in with amongst his people, okay? Right? And called him the bandit that didn't give up. Okay? No. This dude was not the bandit that didn't give up. This is the man that drank 32 gallons of whiskey, passed out, and then was passed out drunk by a posse. Okay?
32 gallons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Mr. Lewis traveled with Elmer and his other wax figurines around the world. And then in 1933, a man named Dwayne, who was a film director, borrowed him to promote his film called Narcotic, which I did a little Googling on that, and that is a whole story on itself. It's a crazy movie story. But Elmer's embalmed corpse was placed in the lobbies of the theater where this movie was being shown and was put on display as the dead dope fiend.
Oh my gosh.
So, but by now, Elmer is pretty mummified.
Yeah, I would think.
Mhm. Yep. And so in 1949, Lewis died and Elmer went into storage, literal storage for 15 years. And Lewis's son, Dan, then lent Elmer to a filmmaker named David. And this is where Elmer made his film. How do you say the word?
Debut.
Thank you. Yes. In a film called She Freak, which the synopsis of this movie is a waitress lady leaves her greasy diner job for the excitement of the carnival and let all the freakiness ensue.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What in the world?
And so that happened. And then in 1968, Elmer was sold to the Hollywood Wax Museum.
No.
And they put him on display at Mount Rushmore.
A real dead guy.
A real dead guy. At Mount Rushmore, where the president's heads are on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
His body's
did they
there.
know? Did they know it was a real dead guy?
Yes, I believe they do know that this is a dead, real guy. Yes. So while at Mount Rushmore, he was damaged by a heavy windstorm that came up. It ripped the tips of his ears off, a couple of his fingers, and he lost a couple toes. After the windstorm, it was decided that Elmer was not lifelike anymore and shouldn't be on exhibit.
You don't say.
So in 1976, he was sold to a dude named Ed, who was the owner of The Pike, which was an amusement park in California, where he was left hanging in the Laugh in the Dark funhouse.
No.
As just another decoration.
Oh.
By this time, no one knew he was a real man.
Yeah.
They just thought he was a wax figure hanging in a funhouse.
This cannot be true.
So this is where Elmer's entertainment career ends.
Thank
at
goodness.
the Laugh-In Funhouse at the Pike Amusement Park, because the production crew from the show The $6 Million Man goes to the Pike Amusement Park to do some filming for the show The $6 Million Man. And they go into the Laugh in the Dark Funhouse, and they're doing some moving around of some of the props that are in there, and they rip Elmer's arm off. And at that point realize that he is not a wax figure that everyone thought was hanging in this funhouse, but was truly a real man. So the police are called, and Elmer is taken to the coroner's office, and it was found out that this dude, Elmer, died of a gunshot long ago, had been covered in layers of wax over the years and phosphorescent paint because he had to glow in the dark because the funhouse was called Laugh in the Dark.
Oh my gosh.
And at that time, he weighed 50 pounds and was 63 inches tall. He had tuberculosis and bunions at the time of his death.
Oh my gosh.
And then bada bing, bada boom, they traced him all the way back to his birth in 1880 in Maine. And in 1977, he was interned at the Boot Hill section of the Summit View Cemetery, where approximately 300 people showed up to pay their respects.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yes. So here you go. Here's a picture of Elmer on display at the original mortuary back in 1911. And then here is a side by side of Elmer then and Elmer in 1977.
Oh, no.
And here's his tombstone. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
That's amazing.
That is
Elmer-
insane.
Elmer lived a much more exciting life after he died, didn't he?
He did. He did.
That is crazy.
Could you imagine? You're in a
No.
fun house and you're like, hey, let's move this hanging wax guy to over here because it'll get better light. And you rip his arm off and it's a real guy.
That would not be cool.
Could you imagine being at Mount Rushmore one Sunday with your family taking pictures and all of a sudden this dude's body parts start flying everywhere? Toes and ears and fingers?
Or you hear about this story and then realize he's in your pictures.
Oh.
Creepy.
Oh.
Wow. That is a
Can you
super
imagine
interesting-
drinking 32 gallons of whiskey?
No.
No.
Can't imagine drinking 1 gallon.
You guys don't want me to drink whiskey. Woo.
Dang. Whiskey. Oh, dang. No.
Ugh.
And it wasn't the whiskey of today, Shell. It's the whiskey of yesterday and yesteryear.
Yikes. Yikes.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yikes.
All right.
That was a good story.
The story of Elmer. Every time you have it, do a toast, raise a glass to Elmer.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Great
Okay.
story, Margot. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. There's my little contribution.
It was a good one. And with that,
Well, Mom's doing something with their dog. So
I just let her go potty.
well, she didn't know how long you were going to talk, Margot. Could have been all darn night.
Well, I finally got my dog
Just
quiet.
kidding. Let us know when she's back. and
I'm
we can
back.
sign off. Hey,
I'm back.
hey, Mom. Mom's back. Woohoo. Great story, Margot. That was really, really interesting. I had no idea the twists and turns.
right? I know.
It's insane. Well, that was another great hour, you guys.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Fun
It
stuff.
was good. And we'll meet again in 2
All
weeks.
right. In 2 weeks.
All right.
I like it. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening and a wonderful 2 weeks, and we'll be in touch.
Good night. I love you.
All right. Sounds
Good
good.
night. I love you.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
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 Bye.